Hey, it's me, Uitomi, the guys with the five eyes that you see. Sorry for the clap, but today we are going to discuss Jerome Boateng. I'm just call it like that. I don't know how you really pronounce it, and his situation with one of his jump offs, possibly, probably, but we'll see until investigations are finished. Killing herself over her breakup with him, his breakup with her. I don't know. It's a breakup. Okay, so the gist of what I'm going to be talking about today is, like the seven deadly sins and how they're called the seven deadly sins for a reason. And in particular, the sins that in this situation you would associate them with, I would associate them with lust, greed, sloth. That's what, three. Wrath. That's five. Envy, six, and pride. So basically the whole nine except for gluttony. Because these are at least some in shape individuals. And so this is the whole scenario. So, Polish-born model Kasia Lenhardt died earlier this week at her Berlin apartment, age 25. Her untimely death, which is still being investigated, comes roughly a week after she broke up with Bayern Munich center back football star. Um, and here in this particular article, you see here a Playboy model Melissa Howie has opened up about her brief relationship with the German football player Jerome Boateng, as she claims dated her while concealing the fact of his engagement to another woman. And this is also the thing with the woman who just killed herself. And I'm gonna show you what she looks like. This is the woman that just killed herself. That's her right there. Apparently she was also upset with him because he had other women, and apparently what she did is she essentially house wrecked his relationship with his baby mama and messed that relationship up. So he decided that he was going to stick with her and see if they can just work things out, which is I mean, honestly, it's kind of crazy. It's simpish honorable to a degree, because it's like, I haven't really heard of that. Like, she house wrecks the situation, so it's like, I'm gonna see what it is, and she accepted it. Um, but I will say, her and this other woman, they're idiots. Okay, because listen to what this chick said. He wanted me to come to Germany. We never actually slept together, but I fully thought we were casually dating. I was the only girl, so that makes no sense. She's lying clearly. She did. They slept together definitely, because if he's cheating, if he has all these women that he's sleeping with and seeing, if he sees you, especially since you're a model, and you flying you out, flying to you, and you think you're the only girl, you're not gonna get into that I'm the only girl position without giving something up. And she's saying he began messaging her and stalking her on social media. I wouldn't be surprised, because these dudes are kind of simpish. But listen to this. Then around the same time, he was also pictured with another woman, Rebecca Stevenetta. So he had the fiance, Rebecca. What? This is saying he was also. So he had the fiance, Rebecca, and was still messaging me and meeting me. The model then decided to break up with the star, and as like saying, she then decided to break up. They were never together. She said casually dating, so you don't break up with someone that you're casually with. Um, and this is the thing. This is how this factors in with like lust, because clearly these women want him, but it's also they're greedy and too prideful, because they understand what kind of man he is. I mean, literally, she broke up his relationship and was surprised and befuddled that he cheated on her. She's the idiot. And I don't. If she died by some circumstance, by accident, right? Like, if it was a freak accident, then I genuinely feel sorry for her. But listen to this. She died during her son's birthday. Okay, so if it does turn out that this woman killed herself, I have no remorse for her, and I'm glad she's off this earth. Her son is gonna, it's going to be very painful. He probably won't get over it, and he has a now he has another life to live. Whoever he could have been in the future, who knows if this affects that? I feel sorry for him and her family. I don't feel sorry for her, honestly. If she truly did. But either way, I don't feel sorry for her situation because she wanted this man purely for him, his status and stuff. She really didn't care for how this kind of guy was. And the same thing with this woman, because also just look at the way she looks. She's a Playboy model and stuff. She has the fake face and everything. Look at the crazy eyes right there. I don't even want to try to play anything in case it's music and stuff. But I mean, you can just look at her and see she's a very vain person. And the thing, oh look, zero following. And the thing about these women, right? These women do not care about anything other than themselves, even their own children. Because for them, they essentially are in the spirit realm of what we call the internet and social media, and they're essentially demons because their life revolves around chaos and misery and pain. They can't even have a simple relationship without it having just tons of drama and everything. And it's the weirdest thing to me that these women will break these men up with other women, even like their families, and then expect, okay, he's gonna do me right. It's crazy. That's Sloth. That's also greed, because he is a pretty well known soccer player, if I'm correct. Plays in Bayern Munich. That man's getting euros, so they definitely want him to keep that cash flow for them. They want to be singular in that. That's why both these women wanted to be his only, because they want everything he comes from. And with this other chick, again, Wrath, if she, well, she is wrathful because she ended his relationship and then wants to dictate everything he's doing. And then when he doesn't do what she wants, possibly allegedly, and you know what? The way I'm gonna go about this, I'm gonna just assume she killed herself. I'm assuming that she killed herself to get back at him. That's what I'm assuming. Not saying it happened. I'm just assuming that. And we also have envy, because clearly these women are envious of any woman that he shows attention to, and it just overrides their natural functions. I mean, you literally have another woman saying, we casually dated, but I thought I was the only one, and it makes no sense. What would make you even consider that? He's a soccer player. What you're really saying to the world was, I wish I could be the only guy for him. I mean, only girl for him, because I want to have it all. And how this can relate back to black people, because that's who I talk to. This can relate to us as a whole. Women, men. I'm going to start talking about the men because we've got a whole lot of, I want to say women bashing, but I know sometimes you get tired of just listening about everything women can do, right? Let's talk about the fellas. Fellas, when you're in the position, right, and you have a lot of resources, probably a lot of clout, all that kind of stuff, most of us instinctively understand that most women want us for those kind of things, and we happen to be good looking. That's probably like the biggest thing to boot. But you've got to understand that you need to start judging books by their covers. A lot of women out there do not want you to judge women off the bat. They feel like for example, I talk with my mom and some other women. I'm like, yeah, she's probably this or that. And like, why are you judging her and everything like that? Because I can. Until you prove me you're not the kind of person I think you are, I'm going to have that conception of you. Why? Because it is a form of protection. That is why we have the ability to judge. Actually, every animal judges. Every animal. Try to go pet a wild animal. There's some wild animals out there that might let you pet them. Maybe they've been petted by a human or two, and they're like, okay, I think that human's good. They're not judging you. But a lot of wild animals are like, I don't know who you are. Are you gonna eat me? You might want to kill me. I'm gonna have to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, even animals at the basic mental capacity of thought know that they have to judge other beings for their own safety. And you, black man, you must judge. If you look at this woman, you can just judge her, okay? Yeah, listen. Plenty of beautiful women out there that are good people, and at the same time, just because you got on makeup and you bad, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. But again, women, when you have certain looks, it makes guys think certain ways about you, because that's just what the fact of the matter is, in my opinion. And if I look at this kind of chick, I don't necessarily have to think she's a whore, but what I will assume is she probably gets courted by a lot of guys that easily boost her head up. I mean, you can kind of tell she got the lip work done. She has, she has that Euro like uppity white girl makeup style, the thick eyebrow lay, and trying to kind of make her eyes look magical. If you look, just the solid model face, and I'm gonna be honest, man, I see, it's crazy. Like a smile makes her just look more warm and comforting and stuff. But then you see these pictures, the only thing you could think is, damn, if I'm not trying to fuck you, you probably gonna like use me for my money or put me in the friend zone right then and there. That doesn't really look approachable. And I'm just saying, if a girl doesn't look approachable, just don't approach her. Honestly, not saying that most girls that do look like that are bad looking women, but I mean, look, even she knows it. She knows she looks like that when she doesn't smile and she does that look. That's what she looks like for the most part. And she's a pretty attractive lady, but at the same time, with these models and stuff, the modeling world is very abusive, and a lot goes on because these women are so attractive, and amongst the women and men in that industry, I mean, if they find it's really hard for like a girl, like a model like her, who gets to her kind of status with her kind of fame and appeal. She's not going to be, her brain is just not going to be like normal, and that's just my opinion. She's in a zone where she's not going to look at men for who they are. She's going to look at men for what she can get. And that essentially that led to her downfall, And men, I think I got a little off track, but men, you gotta, like with like a woman like her, say you get some money, or say you don't even have to get money. Just say you in that situation where you're like, oh dang, I'm about to bag a 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10 and stuff. Um, Judge her, really judge her. Always vet the woman, consistently vet her, but especially with women with looks and profiles like this, because chances are she is not going to be with you for the sake of being with you like most other women. She's with you for a very specific reason and condition, and if you don't really qualify, or if you don't fit that condition to a degree, she is going to do something about that, whether it's leaving you or getting revenge on you because you're a cheater or things like that. um we can just tell. It's an inherent thing too. I can't explain it too much into detail, because there are just some things with people's personalities and everything, when we judge them and stuff, that's just an instinctual thing. And for men, the way we look at you women, it's an instinct thing. She looks attractive, she looks like the kind of woman you want to smash, but then when you kind of just look at her face and look at her eyes, it's something about her eyes, that just it's just I don't know. It's that feeling, and I'm looking at her and I get that feeling, and look what the kind of person she is. Didn't even love her own son. Probably took herself out on her son's birthday, breaking up families and stuff, thinking she all that. Now what's it all worth? 324,000 followers don't mean nothing now. You're dead. You got 0 followers in the grave, baby. And you could look at this chick too, same thing, but even worse, because look at that horrible plastic surgery. And I don't even know, like, damn, like, are European guys, are y'all down bad? If this is what counts as a Playboy model, y'all, just look at that. Like, literally, her frame right here has the frame of like the top half of a trapezoid right there. That's just, who thought this is a good? Oh my god! I mean, like, really? Like okay, like I guess she's more shapely here, but I've never understood like guys that like this type, that kind of body type. I don't know. But yeah, guys, you vet these women, dog. And if you mess with girls like this, you really got to judge them and understand what you're dealing with. These kind of chicks, these high level model chicks, you probably better off smashing and passing. Could they be a good girl? Probably, but I mean, you can kind of see on their faces. What is this? They look like witches. Like, Are you serious? Look at that. Like, can I zoom in? Nah, dog. That's a no for me, dog. Okay. And now we're going to talk from the women's perspective as well. Now, women, listen, listen. When you deal with guys that are, it's like what the men have to deal with the models. You know, when you deal with the models, you expect them to be their DMs to be filled. You really can't trust them all the way because of how their industry works. A lot of sexual favors get done and passed around. A lot of these girls get passed around. You know, you can't really be with a high level model and expect her to be like a virgin or nothing, or even a girl with a body count less than 10. That's just what it is, okay? That's just how it is. And she's going to come with a lot of baggage and a lot of things to deal with, especially when they get high profiles and they have 100,000 followers and stuff, even a normal chick. But for women, you've got to understand that, like, a guy like this, you know, you dealing with a extremely high level guy, a soccer player from Europe, or maybe a CEO, or maybe a dude that runs his own plumbing business in Atlanta and has been in this, you know, he been single for like 10, 20 years and he just been doing his own thing. You know, a guy that, you know, has just finished up being a senior director at a tech company or animation studio, things like that, right? And you got to understand a guy like him, see, he has some clout and fame. So say you deal with a guy like him, and you can look him up really easily because he has like headlines and things like that. If you see that this guy has women that he's been seen with, multiple women, and women are saying he cheats and stuff like that, when you get with this guy, you should know what it is, you know. And even if you don't really know the guy like that, he's like the other example of like more low key guys that are high value as well. When you guys are initially dating, do not expect him to just make you the one right there, especially if you're like casual or you're quote unquote talking, because you guys love to be talking but then want to say a dude is yours. I don't understand that, but whatever. You know, expect these guys to have options, and depending on what kind of career they have, you really should expect them to possibly act out on it. And depending on how their attitudes are, I mean, like, just looking at this dude, looking at that, a mohawk, a dyed mohawk tattoo on the neck, you know he, you know he ain't finna be faithful, you know, because he has the look, he has the edge look, he has the look of someone who wants to be on the fringe of society, you know, who presents themselves as a wild boy. And he's only 32 as well, you know, in the midst of his prime, and playing for one of the greatest clubs there is in the world. I think they just won. I don't know how the Champions League works. That shit is so confusing to me. I thought they just won a Champions League title this year, but the Champions League is going on. I don't know what's going on, but they won something big this year, so he's having success and everything like that. You know, he's on top of life right now. He's getting paid the big euros, worth more than dollars. He's doing his thing. You cannot expect him to make you his world immediately, or if ever. And that's just the reality of it. You know, when you want to deal with these kind of guys as a woman, you know, you could take things differently. Like, if for a guy at his level to be with a model, it makes sense for him to just take her, and she only deals with him because he's a man, and men of that stature, men of every stature, we want our women singularly. Women, you guys are built to accept that more. I'm not saying you should be a polygamist, but there's a reason why in pretty much every society that practices polygamy is usually a man with multiple women. You guys are social creatures and work in a box with each other. You're most comfortable in a group. Men, when it comes to love, we don't like groups at all. That's why the whole friend zone thing and quote unquote beta orbiters is such a big talking point, because men do not like those positions at all, you know. But women, you guys, if you think about it, like for example, in the black community for women, like 42% of black men don't have kids, but like 60 something percent of black women do have kids and they're single, and it's edging up to probably in the 70 percentage. What that basic, I mean, so think about it. More than half of black women have children. Less than half of black men have children. That means black women are having children mostly from the same subset of guys. So you guys are kind of already practicing that, except you're not getting intangibles and stuff. But that just goes to show it's more easily in a woman's nature to accept the role of like mistress, or to be the bottom bitch, or to be the first wife and second wife and everything like that, you know? And of course, these models are going freaking crazy over this dude because we live in a society now where the woman is essentially overvalued, more so physically than anything. So these women are in a position, like, because they have all these followers, probably all this money, all this fame, all this attention, they think he should submit to them. But it's like, no, he's the one that actually makes the world shake. He's the one where if he gets to the World Cup final and he scores a goal, he'll run up a whole economy. He can change an economy of cities, countries, based off of his performance. You do not expect men like that to do what you say or you want. You get with a guy like that, you do everything he needs you to do and wants you to do, because that's his position. He has more power and influence over everything than you. You don't compare to him, no matter how many followers you get. The only way you compare is if you become like Kim Kardashian and you have a net worth of $1 billion something. But that's the only way. And Kim Kardashian is a 101, even amongst all the famous Instagram models and such. So there you go. So listen, black women, black men, when you deal with people, you gotta vet them. You have to judge them for your own betterment. Black women, when you want to get with a guy and stuff, and you talking to a guy, right? And this guy is, when he's typing, he misspells all his words trying to use slang, and you talk to you like this, shot, man, blah blah blah, and and he's just a general kind of guy who is just around and just chilling. I don't want to judge dudes. I'm not trying to make it seem like any laid back, cool hood dude is a bad guy. But just kind of what, like, does he, when he comes over and and y'all haven't had sex, does he press it too much, or is he just letting you be you? Or when you do have sex, is that just the only thing he really wants, and you guys don't do anything else but really have sex like that? You gotta understand who this person is, because he can get you pregnant, and that's probably going to ruin you financially if he doesn't stay with you. And it could probably kill you as well, because childbirth is extremely painful. Gotta think about that like that. And when you 9 months pregnant and stuff, you're probably not going to be able to work. So that's going, again, impact you financially. Dudes, same thing. When you're trying to talk to a girl, is she really into you? Is she giving you choosing signals? Is she like trying to learn who you are? Is she trying to get your attention, but like validating it and actually like rewarding you for it? Because listen, ladies, when you give a guy attention and he gives you back like a good amount of attention and you reward that, it's like dogs and treats and stuff. It's quite simple. So for guys, is she really doing these kind of things? Is she into you? Because if you can't understand, if you can't judge her properly, then she's going to be able to pull a fast one on you. Or if you judge her after the fact and you just try to avoid a situation, you may not be out the clear, because who knows what she's going to do to you afterwards. I've had a situation like that myself. Like when I was younger, that's the thing I struggle with the most. Like, if I knew a girl was fine, I didn't really care like how she acted or what she would do to me, and I got burned countless of times. It literally like three girls I was stuck on the most throughout high school and going into college. They were the type of women that got so much attention from dudes, and the kind of attention I was giving them was a bit different because I was more cool and played the cut, but since I was so young, I didn't realize that was my chance to go in and slide in, so I ended up getting friend zoned and they just I was basically just the gay guy friend, always telling me about who they have sex with here and who they went on a date with here. And none of those friendships ended up staying friendships because guess what, like they weren't really trying to be my friend. They just needed like a guy to vent to, the whole package. A guy that's not going to have sex with them because they're not attracted to me, a guy that's not going to judge them, but I did anyway. I just didn't say anything. Going to give them compliments and all that stuff and do things for them and buy this and that. I was the simp and they got that out of me. Why did that happen to me? Because I didn't understand that, like, okay, this girl has really big titties and she looks really nice. She's probably a nice person, but probably has had sex a couple of times and she probably gets a lot of attention. So that might do something to her mind. You know, I'm not saying that, like, when you look at a woman, you think she's a whore. And I'm not saying girls, when you look at a guy and, if he has money, he's probably a playboy. And if he doesn't, then he ain't shit. I'm not saying that. But, I'm saying you gotta vet. You gotta really, you have to come up. That's what first impressions are for and everything. You have to have an initial conception of who this person is. So once you get to know them, they either go above your standards or, at the best case scenario, they're above your standards. So you just love that. Or you're able to more clearly see how far below your standards they are so you don't waste your time. Or if they end up being the kind of person you thought they would be, well, then you're not surprised by anything. And you have a more clear mind of who you're dealing with. And when you don't do these things, you incur 7 deadly sins. And it's funny, it took me so long to talk about this, but I'm going to end it off of here. They call this the deadly sins for a reason. Because these sins provoke the worst in people. Like, these are the emotions that drive the actions for pretty much everything negative in our society. When it comes to our economy, the mental health crisis, wars, murders, fraud, all that stuff. It comes from these sins. They're not called the 7 deadly sins for no reason. Partaking into these sins, giving into them, can kill you and other people. Just think about this economy. Our leaders are incredibly greedy. They are incredibly greedy and they're extremely prideful. And because of that, they've destroyed this economy and they've killed millions of people. That's the truth of it. They made so many people go homeless and so many people lose their businesses. A lot of I'm not gonna say what I really want to say, but I will say that a lot of our government officials do need a proper punishment. And how extreme that is, well, if I'm telling you like this, you can kind of already figure in your mind what I'm thinking. Just saying. But yeah. And for her, these sins were deadly. And who knows? If she's the kind of person that thinks just like her as well, who knows where it's going to lead her? Because again, let's go back to that picture. I just had to go back to that picture one more time, man. Oh, wait, let's look at this one. Ooh. Oh, ugh. She looks worse even moving. Ugh. That's not attractive, man. What is up with you European dudes, dude? Like, what is it? Like, ugh. 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 Shit's not even high quality pictures. Grainy and stuff. Just. But anyways, that's just a quick video today. Protect yourself, ladies and men. World ain't playing with you out here.